I'm going to bring over Jill. Okay, and you can get, there's a desk tip show that one of you can wheel. If you want to sit on the couch, if you want to sit on, one of the benches here, on the, keyboard, then that's fine as well, okay? Let's see. Okay. Alright. So, let's get this situated. Alright. Okay. Alright, everybody. So, one thing that I completely forgot about, we're going to be actually seeing the horoscope for today, okay? Because that slipped my mind. So, Deborah Silverman, today is the second day with Sun and Moon both in Gemini. So I just want you to hear what she has to say before we do anything else, before we see the other 2 to 1 videos that I have planned, okay? Now, let's see here. Let's see if I can get this adjusted. So actually, I might have to move it here so that I can sit. Oh! Right here. Okay. Okay. So here it is. This is the horoscope. Alright, now I want you all to be paying attention. So can everyone see? I might have to move back a little so that you can see.
June 19th and 20th, Friday and Saturday, the sun is in Gemini and the moon is in Gemini. This happened twice, and you know what? It's like a new moon happening twice. Is the same thing as a blue moon, only in a full moon. Let me put that clearer. That's so Gemini. A blue moon is when a full moon happens twice in 1 month. We don't have the name of when it's a new moon that happens twice, but we're going to call it a purple moon. I just made that up. And when you're a double Gemini, you can make up stuff. That's the whole point. Double Gemini is the gift of being able to spontaneously create. It's the magician in the tarot deck. And what does the magician have? He has 4 elements in front of him on the magician's table in the tarot deck. Water, air, earth, and fire. And any of you that want to get my book, The Missing Element, you can learn how to be a magician by mastering the 4 elements. And I have a new course called Tell Me a Story that's all based in the 4 elements, and we're about to open up to the public. It's a writing class. Gemini's favorite thing is to write. And a double Gemini, during these few days, I want to ask you, journal, verbalize, talk, buy Hallmark cards. You can create just by being inside yourself. If you're feeling depressed, because new moons can do that, it's a very dark sky. The sun and moon are together holding hands, and they're being very introspective. If you're feeling depressed, the quickest way to do it is to, and this is my course, Tell Me a Story, is to detox. I call it air conditioning. Get the negative out before the clean air can come in. But you have to be able to complain. And typically Geminis don't complain because they're always trying to be positive, and they're kind of like the happy cheerleader or the entertaining scientist who's giving you information. But honestly, it's the gift when the sun and moon are together to deal with the emotional content. So please take the time to go inside. This is really a deep entrance into yourself. And we have that moon and Venus together. It's very artistic. Sun, moon, Venus, all in Gemini. Wow. This is a wonderful time. And that Mars and Neptune together in Pisces, you know what that's telling us? To dream, to create, to do sculpture, to do poetry, to do pottery. Let's see if I can think of anything else with P. To do pies. That would be the greatest thing for double Gemini, to make some pies. So you get to free wing it. You get to wing artist it. You get to be a wing artist. Making up words, watching you right in front of me, smile. That's the thing I'm trying to teach you as a double Gemini. You don't have to be inhibited. People love us because we're being funny and goofy. That's the gift of being a Gemini. If you keep yourself in those grown-up outfits with your face all tight and squished in, you're not going to be able to smile. It's my favorite thing. Astrology just wanted me to say, guess what? It's a new moon in Gemini. And all this is if you get carried away with all that Capricorn energy because Jupiter and Pluto are hanging out, you're going to lose the fun factor. And I'm here to turn it on. Fun factor on. If you like this video,
that was
then
good.
be sure
But
to
I
join
did
the
notice
waiting list for
one
my
thing
online
that
school,
was
Applied
wrong.
Astrology.
And I'll
That's
stop
where you get
it.
to discover the...
Okay, so, as I mentioned later, you know that we have the ability and the right to change the reality and to make it the new reality. I did notice in here one thing that was wrong. And if I say something that is wrong, well, that I think to be right, and then I go in and find out, oh, that's wrong, well, it's going to be the new right. That's just how it's going to be. Whatever I say is the truth. Whatever I say, it'll be. And that's the same for any of you. Every single one of you makes up new realities. Not just the mentioned leader, although taking on the ultimate role of that. But every one of you makes an impact and changes and upgrades this dimension for the better. So, Venus is not in Gemini. Venus is in Pisces. Venus is in the mutable water sign of Pisces. As we all know, it's the heir to the water. And so Venus being Pisces, Venus as the planet of affection, beauty, friendship, and it rules Taurus and Libra. Venus in Pisces is someone who is so central in a very empathetic and sympathetic feeling way to so many things and having so much compassion, because Venus is the planet of love. It's the planet of love and, as I said, beauty and affection. So Venus being in Pisces is just so gentle, so soft, and so sweet. And they just love anything that having to do like the little flowers or the little birds or the animals. And also Venus in Pisces is very, very, as we all know, dreamy, creative, innovative, imaginative, spiritual, magical, mystical, very sensitive, and very, very romantical and emotional. Okay, so Venus is in Pisces. It is not in Gemini. It is not in the sign that is in my chart, but it is in Pisces. So that was one thing that I noticed that was wrong. Because on my horoscope, it said Venus is in Pisces. And I really don't care if I'm listening to someone who is, say, a professional swimmer, or, as we know, a professional dance teacher, or a professional chef or astrologer. I don't say something, I don't find out that it's wrong, and I made a whole video and I said it. And if I said that on my horoscope, and even if it comes out to be wrong, well, it's going to be right. It's going to be the new right. So on my horoscope, if you go in and see that, I think that I mentioned Venus being in Pisces, and I will talk about it a little bit. So, no, that's right. Okay? So listen to that instead of this when it comes to the Venus placement for right now. Okay? So that was something that was wrong. That's a very, very Gemini type of thing also, is sometimes that they just say things, out of their mouths, kind of, impulsive and spontaneously, that can be wrong. That they might forget, or they might just make up anything and make it like the truth. And don't tell me that I'm doing that. Don't tell me that I'm doing it and in a negative light against me, because that is not going to be acceptable here. That's not going to be appreciated here. It's not going to be tolerated. Okay, it's disrespectful. It's rude. So that's really Gemini kind of thing, especially because the moon and the sun are both in Gemini for the second time in this Gemini season. It's the June edition and the May edition. Remember what happened back in May. And also, I'm going to really stress the dominant months. The dominant months. So, the months that have most of the days per the sign. So, June has more days than May of Gemini season. And instead of May 24th, I'm going to just go out and say June 12th. Okay? Let's see here. That was a couple of things said. So June and May, as we know, the dominant month. So it happened in June and it happened in May. Okay? So it's a little bit more introverted, as she was talking about, understanding your deeper true self and also feeling depressed. And, Capricorn with Gemini, they're very different. They counter each other. And that's why they would make a really wonderful relationship. Is because Capricorn, as we all know, is very hard, down to reality, kind of pessimistic, and very winter-like, negative, professional, goal-oriented, achieving-oriented, commitment, practical, hard sign. And Gemini is that fun, that entertainment, that light, that mischievous air, talking, thinking, doing things spontaneously. And so Capricorn can ground Gemini, while Gemini can lighten up the Capricorn. Okay, so, and also the missing element. One day we might get that book. We might get that book, to be able to read certain sections of it. Okay? Yes. Oh, well, she's not going to be here. Because I found out from her that she wouldn't be here. So let's see here. Yeah, I don't really have anything else. Okay, so we have this. Now we're going to be moving on to something else. Okay, we're going to be moving on to something else, and that is going to be that's going to be here. Let me see. Let me go back to the TiVo thing. Okay, well, actually it's lunchtime, so we're going to be watching the other couple of videos after lunch. Okay, after lunch we're going to do that, combined with watching Everlost. Okay, watching the trailer and the song, as we all know. What's it called? Imperfect Harmony. We're going to be reading chapter 1, and we're going to be checking out books. I already think I said that. And connecting the reading and writing to astrology. Okay? So, thank you very much for joining me. Have a great lunch.